Hello tennis fans, and welcome to another edition of Tennis at Home. It's an absolutely glorious day. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be talking about the tiebreaker today and a few tips on what can help you kind of tip the scales in your favor. Stay tuned. Now, we know margins in a tiebreaker are very, very slim. So, tip number one, play 1 point at a time. Don't get too far ahead of yourself looking into the future, and don't dwell on the past point you just played. Whether it was a silly mistake, a double fault, or an easy flub at the net. What you need to do is stay in the present, and again, 1 point at a time. Tip number two, don't beat yourself. Let your opponent beat you. Avoid silly mistakes, avoid trying to be the hero and going for incredible winners. Don't try raising your game, instead play within yourself. You got to make shots in the tiebreaker. You look at Ivo Karlovic and another great server like John Isner. Now, they play a lot of tiebreakers, but their tiebreak record isn't that great. Why? Because of their return of serve. They're not putting enough return of serves in play during the tiebreakers to really take advantage of those fantastic serves that they have. Now, Rafael Nadal in an interview says, instead of trying to raise this game, he lowers his game. Now, I'm going to translate. What he's saying is he's playing within himself. He's hitting shots that he is familiar with, he's playing to his strengths, and he's not going for silly shots. He's not going to make mistakes in the tiebreaker. He's going to be really stingy, and he's going to force his opponent to come up with some really, really tough shots and to play risky tennis. Tip number three, play your patterns. Now, hopefully you've changed up some patterns early in the set on your terms when the score allowed you to create a little surprise and a little uncertainty as to what you're going to do now in the tiebreaker. Really important to do that because you want to be able to use your bread and butter plays, your meat and potato. You want to play to your strengths. Again, patterns is the same as strengths in tennis, so you want to make sure that you've changed it up just enough at the beginning of the sets. You want to make sure that you're using the score in your favor to use a little bit of surprise so that now in this tiebreaker you can execute and perform the best you can by using your main patterns of play. Tip number four, and the final tip, use your rituals in between points. This is so important. Make sure that you're having a positive response at the end of the point. Make sure you're able to turn your brain off for just a moment. Let it reset so that you can get yourself organized for the next point. This is really important because I find that people that don't use their rituals have their brains and minds shut off during the point. It's better to shut the brain off in between the points, give it a moment to rest, give it a moment to reboot and get organized for the next point. Otherwise, your brain is going to shut off when you least want it to, which is during play. Make sure also when you're doing your in-between point rituals that you are taking into account what just happened on the previous point so that you can organize your pattern of play for the point following or the next point after that. This might include going to the towel, looking at your strings, and then of course starting your pre-serve or pre-return ritual as needed. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the court soon. Bye-bye.